Recording now.
Spot check him.
Yeah.
4 seconds in.
Okay, great. Hi, my name's Shane Sealis. Thank you all for coming. Seth invited me to give a talk. He said I could talk about whatever I wanted. So I had a bunch of ideas, but I'll keep to a couple that I think will be both cool and relevant. I met Seth at Indiecade East, and he made this ridiculous face, and I said to myself, like, I'm going to embarrass him with this picture at some point. And
impossible.
Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to do that.
I actually proudly showed off that picture at the last meeting.
Really?
Yeah.
Now he's proud. Well, it's a disappointment now. That's okay. So this will be like a half-hour talk. Informal, so just feel free to ask questions as we go. I'll go over a little bit of who I am, talk about the Leap Motion, give a little bit of a technical overview, and also a little bit of a market overview. Because if you're interested in trying to make money, like trying to assess the market is a good thing. I'll do a demo of the Leap Motion, a demo of the game that I'm working on called Cosmos Sumo. And then I've got an idea that I'm kind of excited about for trying to do something for like local game developers. And I presented this to the Vermont game developers group that I just started up. I think it would be a really excellent idea to share with you guys, and you guys might decide to run with it as well. Then we'll do QA, and then we'll do some of you guys already saw this. This is the Cardboard VR. It's $2 on eBay, and you stick your smartphone in it, and you have essentially a 3D experience out of it. That I've demoed like a couple of Oculus Rift apps, and this to me was a better experience than the Oculus Rift, which is crazy. So anyway,
it's just a cardboard box with holes cut in it.
Yes, and it's got like a little bit of lenses, but that's it. And
that's awesome.
Smartphones are now, they have enough in them with the accelerometers and the gyroscopes and the compasses that when you look up, it's like you're looking up. When you look to the right, it's like you're looking to the right. And it works, and it's crazy. So anyway, afterward I'll let you guys do a hands-on with that, and it'll be cool. A little bit about me. I started off as a professional software developer in the Bay Area in California, did a couple of startups. Then I went back to school because I thought evolutionary robotics was really cool. Got a master's. I started doing a PhD, and I fell in love with Vermont, where I was doing my PhD, and I didn't want to leave. And academia doesn't let you choose where you end up if you want to get a job. You have to go somewhere for a postdoc, and then you have to finally try for a real job after your PhD. And I was like, I don't want to leave. And so I was trying to figure out what to do, and I've always had some game ideas rattling in my head, and I was like, I could apply some of these things with evolutionary robotics to games, and I think they would be cool and novel, and so why not finally do that? One other thing I do is I do this thing called Mock-Up Monday, which is I try to do it like every week, and it's usually like a 3 to 5 minute video of just something that I've worked on that I can show people that's cool. It's not usually very technical. It's more just a show and tell, and it's less about me trying to get like a ton of viewers. Although I'm happy there's like a kind of marketing outreach kind of side effect, but it's more about like working for myself, having the motivation. Like this is something that I can use as kind of like if I don't do anything all week and I have nothing to say, come Monday, then I'm kind of, it allows me to keep myself accountable to myself. And it also, hopefully will let people know that I exist and what I'm doing, and, try to acquire that audience. And for people who are kind of concerned about, but then people will have, they might try to steal my ideas. And in this case, I kind of paraphrase Tim O'Reilly here. Like, I think you have much more to fear from obscurity than you do from piracy, and that goes for game sales and for making games. So that to me is not a huge concern. I now run the Vermont Game Developers Group. When I met with Seth and he told me that he was running this group, I was like, oh, I need that. I need that where I'm at. And so I picked his brain a little bit, and then I got this going. We did this, I think, last week. It was awesome. We got like 35 people to like actually show up. There's now like 60 people on the meetup group. So it's been really cool. We've got like a volunteer for our next talk, and just really happy with it. So this is a game that I'm making, a screenshot from it. These are the two four-legged robots, and here you can see the hand that's controlling this red one. And this is a good time to segue in. Oh, never mind. Okay. So this is the game that I'm working on. I'm also on Twitter, at Shane Sealis, where I'm pretty active, and it's a good. Since I'm working alone, I'm working from home. It's kind of a place to have that substitute for office banter. With other people doing game dev, doing technical stuff. Kind of keeps me going. For April Fools, I did a thing where a friend of mine has created a fictitious group against the use and abuse of quadrupuses. So I put a temporary suspension to the quadrupus fights, and he came in with an official statement from the squatter organization. Until quadrupus rights are acknowledged, we will push forward to have Mr. Sealis held in blatant disregard for the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I love that man. That guy is great. Okay, so Leap Motion. So this is this right here is the Leap Motion. Are you guys familiar with this? Have you guys ever seen this? Okay. I see a couple of
Only
nods.
through.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's basically like an Xbox Connect, but just for your hands. And it costs about like $80. And this is their first production run of them. And let's see. Let me show you before I talk about the technical part of it. So here's my hand, and you've got a lot. It's a pretty high fidelity device, and it also has gestures. Let me see. So there's a couple of gestures, like there's swipes. There's if you do a circle with one of your fingers. There's key taps. They're a little touchy, which is kind of one of the big hurdles with dealing with this device. Like, it's really cool. I mean, this is it is kind of the actualization of the Minority Report kind of thing, but nobody knows what the hell to do with it. Like, not in any real useful way. And there are a number of games for it. Most of them are essentially, they don't seem like they're that different than a regular game with a joystick, just, you have kind of a worse joystick out of it. But the thing that's really cool about it is, like, especially if you do, like, any kind of 3D work with 3D apps or anything like that, like, here, one finger, I've got, 3D position in it, so it's like, it is 3D position here, so I can go like into the screen, which is something that typically with the mouse you're not going to get, and also like the direction, where I'm pointing matters. So like already you've got like essentially 6 degrees of freedom, 3 for the position, 3 for the direction, and that's just with one finger, and then each of your fingers has that. So like compared to a mouse where you're only specifying 2 degrees of freedom, and then whenever you do 3D editing with a mouse, you've always got some convoluted set of key modifiers that you hold so that you can try to get to the other specify the other degrees of freedom that you need to do 3D work. So that's just kind of a quick demo of like the technical capabilities of the Leap Motion. So it tracks your hands. It also mathematically models your hands so that the first release of the software, because here it would see like one finger, and then here it would see two, and so that's all the software would report to you. Now it actually mathematically models your hand. So if you make a fist, it reports that there are 5 fingers, but they're balled up in a fist, even though it can't see them, which makes it a lot easier to work with the software. Because before that, it was a pain because you essentially had to make your software work with 0 to 5 fingers at any given point. It has really good library support. Pretty impressed with their API support with Java, C#, JavaScript, Python, C++, Objective-C. Demo. Okay, and then I'll do the demo of my game. All right, and I'll need a volunteer. Who wants to volunteer?
David? All right. Oh, Alex, okay. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so go ahead and put your hand in on the right here. All right, and so the way that this works is what your hands do is what essentially the quadrupus does.
Okay.
So, and that's pretty good. Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the.
Yeah, no worries. Like offsides.
Yeah.
And
No.
oh, time ran
Okay.
out. Lucky.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what does what.
Yeah.
So is it a finger, like each finger controls a leg?
Oh!
So is it like
So-
each? Sorry.
Yeah, so each finger basically maps to a leg, and if you kind of make hand shapes, you'll kind of be able to see that. And there's a couple of other things. Like you can also push around your own quadrupus. I can't do anything to his, and if we're directly touching, I can't touch mine either. But there's also a pinching mechanic, so I can lift mine up. And, try that. But there's some kind of high risk things you can do. So if we're not touching yet, I can touch my own, and yeah, it can go through lots of ties. Cool.
Okay.
Do you want to have 2 other people volunteer? Great.
I gotta try this.
Go.
I think easier if, like if you sit if they're sitting down.
Oh yeah.
Like, people are like they're stretching. So they just sit down the middle. We have chairs.
Yeah, I wish I.
Is it possible to use 2 leaps?
It's technically possible. I don't know that their software actually supports having 2 leap motions. And although that would make for a better demo, the idea of actually trying to it's already kind of a small market as it is. So if it had a
No, they're both on the same leap motion.
Right here.
oh yeah, sorry.
I think you got to use your right hand there, Ryan.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Wait. Oh, go ahead. I click. Oh. So how is this?
Damn it.
Player 1 wins.
The leap motion actually has a pretty big range of being able to see things. Usually people
Trying to keep
they
your
want to
head
get
higher
right next to the
up. I
sensor
was
because
having
they
that
think
trouble myself.
it's you have to be right on top of it. But actually, it's got a big range of vision.
What engine is this in?
This is in Unity. It's got Leap Motion has good support for Unity. Like the hand model is just comes from their asset, which is nice. They've got a bunch of different assets and
Trying to
demos.
figure out.
Where am I? What's going on?
Your hand's not in there.
Yeah, if you can't see your hand is not being tracked.
There you go.
I think sometimes if you've got like a
Yeah,
jacket on,
no.
sometimes it'll.
My asshole.
It likes naked hands and arms.
Oh, it's hard
Why
to
do
keep
it
getting.
over the Kinect?
Yeah. Can
Oh, it's getting serious.
I
Ryan's
think
taking his
that
jacket
would
off.
actually be a great. I mean, if you.
I'm trying to figure out how this.
I would love to see people like you know.
Right, yeah.
I think that would be great.
So
No, I mean, like,
moving
why,
my hand.
why was your personal choice to leave?
Yeah, your fingers move the legs, I
Yes,
think.
'cause they don't move it much if they do.
The idea of it, you know.
Yeah, dude. See, you
They
close
do,
your hands,
yeah.
and it's
The
just a
idea
little
of
slower. Yeah.
using your hands to do it was the thing that meshed.
I ain't moving.
With, it's the thing that kind of originated the idea.
You're on your back.
There's like a lot of using the
Flip
connector.
over.
But I think it would be a good.
Try
thing
just
to
moving
target
your fingers
afterward.
more than moving your hand.
I was just wondering because I assume.
Yeah, there you go.
Have a Connect.
More people are gonna have connect. And that's it's a really good point.
Oh, come on.
I
This
would
is
love to-
cheaper than a Connect. If you have
Yeah.
to buy one.
How much does it connect?
Yeah, but you
A
get
hundred.
connected with an
A
extra
hundred.
Oh, it's like
one.
I don't have
A lot of people are going to buy it.
You don't have to get one of the Xbox One either, so.
But I've never used
Oh!
the motion.
You're too aggressively putting your hand in the arena.
RPGs.
I thought it for a second. Now, so there's three mechanics, and one is it matches what your fingers are doing. The other is being able to knock around the quadrupus, your own quadrupus, with your hand, so long as you hadn't touched recently. Because I don't want you to just be able to
Whoever sweeps first.
right,
wins.
whoever sweeps first
I'm trying
wins.
to make
Like
them
that's
fly off
it's too
again.
too easy. And then there's also a pinch
No,
mechanic.
no.
So you can
You're holding on. No!
Wow.
I need to like pull myself up.
And I don't the control. Trying to figure out how to do the control.
Shoot.
What works in terms of the game.
Don't push yourself too hard.
It's been like
No.
a big struggle. Like, and I still don't think it's quite worked out yet.
No. Damn it.
Oh, man.
All right, cool. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I gotta get me one of those.
This one's now. And so one thing I wanted to talk about was the market for Leap Motion, because it's a small market. It came out relatively recently. They've sold about 500,000 of them, and the thing that I think makes it appealing, though, is if you look at the total number of Leap Motion apps, it's 223. Total number of games is 140. So this is a market that you can be seen in just by existing, which is kind of awesome. If you're like me and you don't have a market or an audience, as of yet. And so this is the thing that I like about it is there's no discovery problem. I don't have to pay a bunch of advertisers just so people realize that I have something that exists. And then once this is made and out there, hopefully I can grow a little bit of an audience there and then branch out into other platforms. And I think Connect would be a great one. Probably I'll have to support some kind of analog dual stick thing, which will be different than this kind of experience, but I think that's probably the right way to go with it. Okay, so that's the Leap Motion. Now I'm going to go into an idea that I think is hopefully relevant for local game developers, and it starts out with essentially the problem of discovery. This is what I consider like the big problem, especially on the mobile market. And these are the numbers that I think are really scary. So if you look at the Apple App Store, you've got 1.5 million apps in there. You've got about 350,000 games. around that they would want, to, see their work and chat with them. And, you could also do this like have it, Maine style where you have multiple local games that people can, select from. So it doesn't have to be a, single hosted thing. And I think in the same way that you've got things like the kind of local food movement, like people like locally produced things. If you can take that aura, that halo, and stick it onto, games that you're making, like it's almost like charity. People like it. They want to support it. And I think this would be a really good way to invite people to do that. And it would get you, the kind of marketing that I think, I think would be good and different than just trying to buy the right kind of Google AdWords. And that's pretty much it for the idea. I'd love to open the floor up for questions.
I don't have a question, but I did have a similar thought because we do have the Arcadia bar in Portland.
Yep.
It's like, oh, if I ever finish a game, I wonder if I could like ask them. But I hadn't really thought it through. Like, it'd probably be a PC game. How would I get it? But I think that's a great idea. I mean, I have no idea what the people in Arcadia would say, but I mean, I know they have like free games. It's not all like coin op. They have like PlayStations and stuff. So it's not like they'd be like, oh, we can't make money from it. So I think it's an interesting idea. I'm definitely on board with that.
Cool. Yeah, and there's actually for these kits that they actually have like some coin op, kind of add-on. I think it's not a real coin op. It'll basically accept whatever kind of thing you want to pass through the sensor. But that's probably fine. The barcade that I'm thinking about, has tokens anyway, so I don't think that's a problem. And also, like, if this thing did make revenue, in terms of like accepting, quarters or tokens or whatever, like, I'm not really interested in trying to become a, arcade cabinet,
A pinball wizard.
purveyor. For me, I would be happy to take no money out of it just for the, placement, just for the, you keep all the tokens or quarters or whatever. I'm just looking for that marketing placement.
Right. I mean, I'm just thinking like their thoughts, like, well, if we can't make any money from it, then we don't want it taking up our space.
Oh yeah.
Like Arcadia is really small
Mm-hmm.
in Portland. I don't know the other places, but I mean, obviously exposure is good.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'd say, give them the money. Like,
Right.
don't make it a financial agreement. Make it a thing about, I'm providing this box, and you can basically take the money from it that it's paid. I don't care about that. I'm getting money.
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Local games, well, but if you're selling the game.
Yeah, and I could see this definitely generating a lot of good press for these barcades.
It's a story.
Yeah, it's a story. It's something new.
Is the first night doing like a local game night to get them to test drive the market, show them it's successful that way.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
Or if you host, a local game developers meetup there, and drive some business there that way.
Is the kit you're showing on there, is that like a Raspberry Pi based thing on ARM?
It is Raspberry Pi based, but as far as I understand it, you can basically put in whatever will fit within those dimensions. Probably if I were to do it, because I don't know how good the Unity support is for that kind of a thing. I'd probably just stick a Mac Mini in there and be like, whatever.
Technically, Unity can do Linux. Linux can run on the Raspberry Pi, so theoretically,
Yeah.
but it certainly would be interesting. I mean, you obviously with something like this, you don't want to stick, $1,000 gaming PC in it.
No, you want to go as cheap as you can.
Yeah.
But
How much does the cabinet kit cost?
this cabinet kit, with basically all of the electronics, was I think around like $500. All the wood's like pre-cut. Basically, you just glue it together.
I could do that so much cheaper.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you have like actual woodworking skills,
There's lots of instructables.
Like if you
that
built a
do
house.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a small house with one window. Do the controls just boil down to like a USB joystick input?
No, with the Raspberry Pi, usually there's like essentially like a little, at least on the kit they have here, almost like it almost kind of looks like a breadboard, but basically you just plug in wires and then you just, are like, okay, that's my, this button and whatnot.
So would you have to like make your own library to handle that input? I mean, like my game just handles USB joysticks.
Yeah. Maybe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean if it's Raspberry Pi based, there is a USB port on it, so if you can wire up all
Oh,
the
that's true. You can
controls
just pass
to
them
a
in.
USB.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still gonna have to hope that whatever hardware drivers that are required for that can talk to Unity.
Yeah.
Right.
So you still might end up having to write your own library.
If you use Unity.
Or just build your own engine and stuff.
All right.
Let's go hard mode.
All right. Cool.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, and I've got the Cardboard VR. This is an experience worth having. You can't get it through YouTube. So anybody who wants to try this out, I think it's pretty great.
What is there? So there's special apps for that then?
Yeah, the apps are specialized, and I'll show you what it looks like. So basically, you just have like the two screen kind of thing going through, but it's. I mean, it's just kind of crazy the effect that you get just by, having it go through, like looking at it through each eye, and being able to.
It's like a 20th or 21st century version of this 1800s, like, picture view things. Seriously, though.
They're coming out with like VR things that are not cardboard that you just put your smartphone in. So
It's smart.
Oh,
why
good.
not just-
The
You haven't seen that?
Here?
No,
But yeah, they're doing.
Are
It's
they-
like HTC is coming out with them.
Oh.
No, the Steam thing. I think the Steam VR is I believe uses that.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I could be mistaken, but
Yeah.
Is it the
Anyway,
that's
the
$2,
gear
so
also kinda
It's
like
$2. Do you want to pass it around and check it out? Okay, and I think we're done.
Okay,
I've
thanks.
got cards and flyers, and I'll put up a Quadrupus Sumo for anybody who wants to take another whack at that.
well, that's good because then I can.
Oh, dude, we're going to get this filmed?
I'm ready now.
Start
Make
off.
sure you get... I want 4 minutes of him just eating that cinnamon roll.
Silently, everyone.
Thank you for coming. Munch.
I'll have a piece of performance art and a game overview.
This is art. Do you want these?
Let me know when I should.
Yeah, please.
So yeah, this game was literally born from me and a bunch of friends getting drunk while playing Super Smash Brothers and having the AIs fighting each other. We're like, wow, it's a lot of fun to be watching the computer just like fight and sort of placing bets on it.
This is
And I
good.
was like, so what about a game where you're not, doing anything particularly special? Like, you're Kayla, who is she based off of? Firefly fans.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you're the lead engineer of this mining station, and you don't really know how to fight, but you know how to like make things, and you know how to like make weapons, armors, things like that. And this is like the survival mode. In like a few hours, the station's gonna get invaded by people that don't like you for whatever reason. So I'm gonna see if I can survive that by making some armors and making some guns, or I'm just gonna go with the knives. And another mission pops up that I can send them on, but I want to prepare for getting invaded. So it's in a way a mixture of like faster than light feel of the ships, because the artist is really amazing what he does, and Long Live the Queen, and like that it's event driven, and I want to have it like have a storyline. The portrait artist is amazing at what she does.
Yeah.
And
How do you pronounce that blue guy's name?
Uji.
Zoidberg.
Yeah. Or is it Cthulhu, where like there's no correct way for the human to say the name?
There is a race like that, so like all of the races communicate in a different fashion because I wanted them all to be distinct. The bugs, as people have been calling them, have been fairly popular. I'm not sure why, but yeah, so like as you do things, time passes, so I want it to feel a little bit hectic in terms of time management and resource management. Like, do I want to upgrade my space station with more defenses? Do I want to like upgrade the weapons that the mercenaries have equipped? And then I'm going to pause it for a second. There's a few drone tools here. The mining laser, I'm going to select it just to help out my little dudes. But, oh, down's a bad guy. I shot him. So just to make sure like this isn't boring for the people as they're watching the mercenaries do things, like during an invasion or as they're going on ships, I also like put in a few things called drone tools, also known as god powers if this was going to be like a fantasy style setting, where you sort of have to decide how you want to try and help them. And I actually started calling it a helicopter parenting management thing, because you can easily shoot your own people. It's like, oh, I want to be helpful, and you sort of just screw them over. I don't think I shot this guy, but, you know, there go the bugs. You won't get more people because this is survival, you have what you start off with, but I should probably heal Chris so that she doesn't die. I'm not going to trade anything because I don't have resources to trade with you. I'm going to keep on healing. I don't have that many events set up right now. I'm like, I call it at like 50% complete because like the code is 80% there, but like the like actual content is only 20 or so % there, just the tutorial. So heal all of these people, put some armor on them. Another mission appears. Put more armor on them. I'm gonna get invaded again. So, you know, however long I might succeed in surviving, let's just pass the time until I get invaded. And the Marauders are attacking the station. Alright, so let me... This one's selected. Oh crap, that, the station defenses were killed, weren't they? Let's see if I survive this or not. Nope. Alright, so I guess I need to make like the invasion mechanic be a little bit less aggressive in how often it happens, so that you can have time to send out your people on like missions.
So who's the guy who's walking around right now?
That guy is one of your mercenaries. Not the top left one, the top right one.
Okay.
So everyone that's on your station is walking around and defending. Oh my god, he succeeded. So, oh, and there's a bug that just caused a crash somewhere. Alright,
well done.
And that's how the demo of it ends. But yeah, so like you can send them out on missions. The tutorial is much less hateful towards you as a player. Like it doesn't invade you as often. Well, it only invades you once. But yeah, so that's my game.
Cool.
Thanks for showing.
Yeah, awesome. Scrap Station.
Scrap Station Sigma, yeah. I like the
Scrap
curiosity,
Station
the
Sigma.
alliteration, and then the artist has a lot of fun with, like, the little door had a Sigma on it and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so cool, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm awesome.
Artists.
Oh, that's really cool. You know, you mentioned the whole like watching like computers fight and making bets. There is a game that's run on Twitch, and it's essentially it looks like a Street Fighter 2 clone, and all it is computers fighting each other and people making bets with a virtual currency. It has a terrible name. I can't remember what.
Mugen?
No, it's I can find it.